volleyballers and all volleyball fans, welcome to the second annual PrepDig Game Day Experience. I'm gathered with my good friend Chris Fitzgerald of PrepDig.
Hey, great
I
to see
am
you,
Mike
Mike.
Cayley. He is Rob Derry behind the camera. We are the Experience, and it's our job today to paint the picture of what's going on in the building right behind us. That's not Lambeau Field. We're talking about the Rush Center. So, Fitzy,
A lot of good things going on today and yesterday.
let's talk about yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me about what you saw. You spent how many hours in the Rush Center yesterday?
Oh, man. Well, I got here at about 9:30, and I think I left around 9:30, so that'd be a.m., p.m., so that means 12 hours.
12 hours of watching volleyball.
So, yeah, there was a first yesterday where we had the boys state volleyball tournament. Think I'm loud enough here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we started out with Marquette University High School out of Milwaukee. They took on Racine Horlick, and then we had Germantown, who took on Franklin. And so with that, it was a lot of fun. There's great energy. There was really good student sections.
Yep.
The fan buses showed up in support. Marquette, they had their full student section of all guys because it's an all-boys school.
Yep.
And a lot of good volleyball. For people who haven't seen boys volleyball up in this area, I mean, the game is played at such a high level, and it's played well above the net.
Let's back it up here, Fitzy. So the boys they've had their state tournament. Where was it prior to the Rush this year?
Before the Rush Center, it was at Wisconsin Lutheran College down in Mequon. So with that, it was a very close ride for all the Milwaukee schools, but they made the decision to come up to Green Bay to make it more of an event. And so for a lot of these guys who are playing in the tournament, it's a big adjustment. Being able to track the ball in a bigger arena. Yep. You got 4 student sections that are going crazy the whole game.
Any idea how many boys volleyball programs are there? Ballpark across the state?
Well, we probably have.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Game Day Experience.
We probably have. We have 8 sections. There's probably
10,
8 to 10 teams per section. So I'm guessing 60 to 80 teams throughout the state. Most of them are from Southeast Wisconsin.
Yep.
So I know for some of them they were not very happy about coming up to Green Bay, just because it's a further drive, but I think it's going to be a really good experience for all these kids.
Well, I tell you, the girls from River Falls went in and watched a little volleyball yesterday. We're very impressed with what the guys do and very impressed by how they look.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you get girls volleyball players and boys volleyball players, you know, it's nothing in common. So.
Yeah. Well, they backed up everything. I noticed yesterday when we were talking that the perimeter has been enlarged.
It has.
From the last 3 years we've been down here with River Falls.
That was definitely one of the deals that the boys needed when they came to the Rush Center, because with the boys game, it's much more powerful. They need to have that space to be able to serve. So what they did is they took the hockey boards out.
Yep.
And backed everything up so that way there is a full. It's a full international court.
Look how we got the gambler behind us. There's the gambler, Maddie Cayley's senior season at the Rush, the road to the Rush.
I don't recognize her because last night I saw Maddie Cayley, who has very dark hair.
She just went back to a little natural look. Got rid of everything.
Brunettes have some fun.
All right, 12 hours at the Rush Center yesterday.
Yeah.
Fitzy, why don't you talk a little bit about what you saw?
Okay, well, first of all, with the boys, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I was just hoping that.
Quiet, please. We're trying to do a show over here. Oh, never mind. Come on over. Get in the background. Where are you from? Who are you cheering for? Everybody. I like that kind of mentality.
No, I really didn't know what was going to happen with the boys. I didn't know if people would come. I didn't know if it'd be a big empty arena, but the student sections came in full force. It was really exciting. I think the guys had a lot of fun, and then by the time it came for the girls' matches...
So one division for the guys, 8 teams qualified for the state tournament.
That is correct. So,
big school, small school, it doesn't matter. Everyone's competing for the state.
Absolutely. So most of the schools would be probably equivalent to Division II or Division I schools in girls volleyball. But, you know, one thing that the state's trying to do is get more exposure at the high school level. It's growing like crazy at the club level, and I know Minnesota's trying to sanction boys volleyball for their state. So, you know, who knows what it'll be looking like in 10 years. I would love to see it stay in Green Bay.
Sure.
And have more teams competing as well.
Sure. I'm sure it'll grow. What was I doing the research? It started in 1979?
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing it for a while. It's just always been a very, very concentrated Southeast Wisconsin program. But now you got teams out of the Appleton area that are playing, teams out of the Green Bay area that are playing. So with that, I think it's going to be a matter of time before hopefully we get some more Madison teams. And who knows, maybe up in River Falls we'll get a team with their proximity to Minneapolis and St. Paul.
All right, so yesterday the Division I girls took off. There was 8 teams that qualified, 8 sections there. What did you see yesterday in the girls battles?
For the girls, so first match we had River Falls and Appleton North, which those teams, even though they're on opposite sides of the state, they were still able to connect earlier this season with the
Hey guys,
opening
welcome. Who are you
scrimmage.
cheering for? Got a lot of just
Anybody?
volleyball
Yeah,
fans.
a lot of
That's
fans.
impressive.
And I think that's what we're going to get when you have boys and girls, and your ticket to the boys game is also good for the girls game. And so, anytime when you can have more fans, the better. So make it more of an experience. Yeah.
You know that. All right, River Falls took on Appleton North.
Yeah,
Oconomowoc took on conference rival Kettle Moraine yesterday.
Yeah, so for River Falls and Appleton North, I think River Falls, their experience being at the state tournament definitely showed. When you have a full squad that they know what it's like, they know what the big arena is, they know, everybody's nervous when you first come to the state tournament,
Sure.
but when you have a team that's pretty young with Appleton North and also is they've been at the state tournament, but nobody on that team, so it's just a lot different. Again, it's a big venue, so you gotta be able to adjust fast and make any changes necessary.
Speaking of Oconomowoc, there's Oconomowoc.
Hey, we know that guy.
Darren. Oh, we got Oconomowoc fans coming in. Welcome to the game day experience. Put your fat head back there. That's what we're here for.
And then with Oconomowoc, G-Town.
Oh, look out for them. Welcome. Go Shep.
No. And then with Kettle Moraine and Oconomowoc, whenever you have two teams from the same conference, I mean, they know each other. I think some of the student section cheers got a little bit personal because
That'll
when
happen.
you know people at the other high school, you can have some fun with it.
Yeah.
And, so I'll just leave it at that. And so with that, Oconomowoc took the first two sets.
Yeah.
Kettle Moraine stormed back and took the next two, and then Oconomowoc jumped out to an 8-0 lead in set 5, and then eventually took the match. And we have another year of Oconomowoc and River Falls in the
That's what
semifinals.
it
It's
is.
kind of like it's like a tradition, right?
Well, that's the third year in a row. River Falls has been down here 4 straight years. They lost to Sun Prairie in round 1 4 years ago, and then have battled 1-1 against Oconomowoc the last 2 years.
Yes. So 2 years ago, Oconomowoc was heavily favored to win the whole thing, and you guys took it to them. And
Yeah,
then,
4-set win 2 years ago, and then last year we opened
last
up
year it was close. I mean, you took the first 2 sets, and then Oconomowoc stormed back and took the next 3. So we had a match with River Falls and Oconomowoc earlier this year.
Yep.
Down at the Charger Challenge, and it was a 2-1 match. Maddie Cayley was just coming back up from an injury, and
No Anna
Anna
Wolf
Wolf
still?
was still injured, and so it's going to be a full-strength River Falls team and an Oconomowoc team that definitely they're hungry for a state championship too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when those two forces
I
collide.
was going to put Fitzy on the spot and try to do some predictions, but we agreed in the pregame that maybe the predictions wouldn't be a good idea. So,
Not tonight.
all right, so let's talk about
off the record.
later that night. Then you had Arrowhead, the number 1 seed, taking on Sun Prairie, and the number 4 seed Burlington Demons, back-to-back
Yeah.
state champs, taking on number 5 Union Grove.
So with Arrowhead and Sun Prairie, Arrowhead and Sun Prairie, the number 1 seed versus number 8 seed, but Sun Prairie's probably one of the better 8 seeds that you're going to see around. They got the first set, and they were real close with set 4. Just going to pull it out, and Arrowhead has some really strong athletes on their team. They have Aubrey Hamilton, who's going to Notre Dame.
Stud.
They got a couple other Division I girls, or will be Division I.
Fitzy, I was looking in the record books and all that stuff, and I thought Arrowhead was this big powerhouse. They really haven't been here that much. They were here in like 1985 and then the last 2 years.
I think that's just an example of what you're going to see out of Milwaukee. I mean, Arrowhead has to play Divine Savior and some of the other. And Oconomowoc and Arrowhead were always in the same sectional before a couple years ago. So to get out of that sectional is tough, and to get out of that sectional still, it's really difficult with all the big teams. I mean, they had to beat Divine Savior. Savior had to beat Brookfield Central. Sussex Hamilton was in there.
Talked to Coach Tracy last night. She was kind enough to stop by and say hello.
Oh, that's she's very nice. Of course she would.
Yep.
So
Met her at the Charger Rally 2 years ago.
yeah. That sectional down there. I mean, just to even get into the Final Four of that is pretty tough. So there's a reason why they're number 1, and there's a reason why they're a favorite. And then in the other match, we had Union Grove and Burlington,
Yeah.
where Union Grove and Burlington, they're from the same conference, the Southern Lakes Conference.
Of course they are.
And for Union Grove, really tough battle. They were up 2-1, but unfortunately, Burlington did what Burlington does and just kind of start pecking away. And
Who are you cheering for? Hey, there you go, Germantown. We got some boys volleyball fans heading over to the Resch right now.
Germantown probably had one of the biggest cheering sections I saw yesterday on
Really?
the boys. Yeah, it was huge. I mean, student section was great. They won the state championship last year for boys.
Okay.
They know what it's all about, and so they got a great program for their boys and girls.
So you're talking about Burlington. Burlington does what Burlington does, and that's what?
Yep.
Find ways to win volleyball matches?
Yeah, I mean, they're well coached. They're well trained.
Five
They
sets,
have,
won 15-11, set 5, is that
Yep,
what it was?
they have. They definitely have the experience. Their center, Kaylee Blake, she just knows how to get it done, and she
Yep.
works really well with their middle, Emily Allen. And between those two, there's a lot of state tournament matches
Sure.
with them, and so they know what it takes to win in 5 sets when it gets really tight and a big stage. So.
All right, brother. Well, you were here for 12 hours yesterday, and then you come back this morning for a 9 a.m.
Yeah,
session.
Bring it on.
Well,
It was
you got another
early.
12-hour day. Talk about this morning with some of the Division 4
Yeah,
did you start with?
D4. So we have Catholic Central or Central Catholic.
Yep,
And,
I got them written down here if you want to know a little bit. We got Clear Lake taking on Catholic
Yeah,
Central.
Clear Lake from up in your area.
They are.
A lot of really talented athletes. They have 4 girls with the last name of Rosen on their team.
Clear Lake has really?
I don't know if they're sisters, cousins, what the bloodlines are there, but yeah, I mean, if you say the name Rosen, there's going to be probably four heads that turn around.
Number 1 seed, Clear Lake. Catholic Central, number
Yeah,
2 seed. I mean, do you see any players there stick out to you? I know you got a lot of names on the Clear Lake team.
There's a middle from Newman Catholic,
Yep.
Lauren Shields. Like, she was really strong, really physical.
Does the game fatigue change? I mean, you're watching Division 4, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. Obviously, it's all done by student enrollment. Do you
Yes.
see, I mean, there's studs at every level. So if you threw one of these players into the Division 1 teams, they're still going to be great.
Yeah, I would just say the biggest difference that I see is from Division 4 to Division 1 is just the level of depth. I mean, there's, just to have somebody on the court for a Division 1 match. I mean, you've probably played a lot of club. You've probably done a lot of training, just to get to that spot where at the Division 4 level, you're probably going to see a lot of athletes that are in multiple sports and they're in multiple activities. I mean, they're kind of the all-around type kid.
Sure.
And do we have more fans coming through?
Kevin Larson, River Falls. Here we go. Let me paint the picture. We've got the game day experience here outside of D2 Sports Pub right here on Armed Forces Way. We got some of the fans transitioning. Come on over, get in the shot. We got glorious Lambeau Field behind us. Critch Fitzgerald
Gotta get in here.
is from PrepDig, and there's Kevin Larson, one of the River Falls parents. Come on over. Where are you from? Oh, jeez. Screaming Eagle Pride right there. Get in here. Get all the whole family in here. There's Gail and her sister. There's what we like to see. All right, Fitzy, transitioning to Division number 3. You got number 1 seed Howard's Grove. Yeah! Wow, there's Rob Derry behind the camera. Division 3, you've got Howard's Grove, the number 1 seed, taking on La Crosse Aquinas, the hometown of Rob Derry.
Yeah, those lacrosse. I mean, if you're from lacrosse, you're tough, right? I mean, that's just how
No.
it is. So,
No.
no, you are okay. No, those girls from Aquinas. I mean, they've won, I think, 2 state championships in basketball, and so, coming to the Resch and playing in a big arena and playing in a big match is nothing new to them. It's
Sure.
just kind of part of their routine. And Howard's. Yeah, there's a girl by the name of Lexi Donarski, and she's got another
where?
sister, Lacrosse
Aquinas?
Aquinas, and she's gonna play basketball at Iowa State. However, if that doesn't work out for her, I mean, she would definitely be very welcome on a lot of volleyball teams. So,
Abby Larson's whole family here from Fenimore.
that's-
Mom and Dad are high school, junior high sweethearts. There we are, the A train. Toot, toot. What'd you see in Division 3 today?
well, Howard's Grove, I mean, they have a Sage Damrell who's going to Wisconsin. They got
Wow.
Carissa Kaminsky who's going to Dayton. They're freshmen and sophomores. They got a full team that is so deep, and they put out a serving clinic today with their placement,
Really?
with their aggressiveness, and
So they've been a powerhouse down here. We came down here with River Falls 4 years ago. We shared our hotels, got to know the Howard's Grove parents a little bit.
oh yeah, they are very fun to be around, and
Sure.
good people, and they love their volleyball, and they've kind of grown up watching older kids play in the state tournament, and I'm sure there's younger kids now saying that I want to be out there, and success just kind of keeps on feeding success.
Sure.
And
Anybody else in D3? Any players catch your eye?
There's a middle.
I know you. I know your head was spinning in there yesterday after 12 hours.
No, there was Emily Bruckshin is a middle from Howard's Grove. She was actually a freshman on that team the year that they won it. So it's kind of fun to see her come back as a senior and just she's just so experienced and she's very mature and just is kind of the leader amongst all the kids of Howard's Grove. And then just seeing
Howard's Grove just outside of Milwaukee.
Howard's Grove is right by Sheboygan, so it's probably a little over an hour
really?
from here.
Okay.
Just head south on I-43 and hit Howard's Grove, and but watching Lexi Donarski from La Crosse Aquinas, I mean, she's special. She can jump and she can do some pretty cool things.
All right, Division II, Fitz. We got number 1 seed McFarland taking on the number 3 seed Luxembourg Casco.
Yeah, in Division II, there was a section where there's 8 teams that at one point this year were ranked in the top 10. So it was out of the Madison area, and that's where McFarland came out of. And they beat Lake Country Lutheran, they beat Lakeside Lutheran, who won state 2 years ago.
Yep.
Lakeside Lutheran beat Lake Country Lutheran, who's won the past 2 years in Division III. So it was a really rugged sectional. So for them to come out of it, that they're pretty battle tested. At the same time, they don't make a lot of mistakes, so they're very well balanced.
Most teams at the state tournament don't make many mistakes. I mean, obviously they're going to push each other hard.
But at the same time, you can't go into the state tournament and not be aggressive either. So just being able to go.
Kevin Larson, come on over here for a second, would you please? All right, we're going to put on the game day experience. Kevin Larson, class of 1980.
Oh, that'd be 87.
You got to hold. You got to get your cold hand out. That's cold. All right, Kevin, we got you on from Fenimore High School, small town, southern Wisconsin. How important is high school sports to these kids? I know you had a glorified career down there.
No. Obviously, it's pretty important. Helps build character, helps build work ethic. Learn the value of team and sacrifice. So,
who's the coach back in the day at Fenimore?
Well, that'd be Mr. Tom Donnie, which actually is a member of the Wisconsin Basketball Hall of Fame.
Really?
So he did a great job. I was fortunate enough to play for 2 college coaches who are also in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Greatest high school memory, Kevin?
Obviously, sectional final game, La Crosse Central High School versus Cochran Fountain City, and winning that game to go to state back in '87. So
your greatest memory is the game to get to state. How was the state tournament?
Actually, we didn't play very well.
It happens, doesn't it?
We just forget about that one.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, what the girls have accomplished here with your wife's awesome tutelage. 4 appearances in a row is absolutely amazing.
So what would be your advice to these kids sitting in the locker room tonight? Boys, girls?
Have fun.
It
Just
is.
relax. Relax. It's so easy to say, but just so enjoy the experience. You'll remember it the rest of your life, and just have fun.
Let's talk about Fenimore volleyball. What they do this year?
Well, Fenimore volleyball, I think they're rebuilding. Right, gang? I think. Yeah, they're trying to find their way.
All right.
So we'll leave it at that.
Well, there's Kevin Larson, Fenimore High School. Thanks for coming up, buddy.
Thanks. Always a pleasure.
Dad to Abby Larson on the River Falls Wildcat team. All right, Fitzy, anybody out there in D2 that stood out to you?
Well, Wisconsin Lutheran had.
It's McFarland, Madison?
Madison area, right around there. Yep. So,
you're from Iowa, and I'm asking him for Wisconsin geography. So.
Yeah, well, once you get north of Wausau, that's when it gets a little bit a little.
Just
blurry,
leave it at
blurry,
that.
Blurry.
I like blurry. Yeah.
All right. No, but there's for Luxembourg Casco, their big team. Their coach Jeff Fry actually we interviewed him last year.
We did. I remember that.
And so he's going to be playing for a state championship tomorrow. So they got a really good senior class, and they just have a really strong program.
Put your big head in there.
Well, put your big head. What team are you with? Oconomowoc. There's the Raccoons. Good luck. We're from River Falls. Well, Fitzy's from PrepDig, but we're River Falls. Good luck. Not too much luck, but enough.
Just enough. Just enough to lose.
All right, Division II.
So they got Holly. I think it's Bile or Byrel. She's a middle blocker that's really strong. They got Grace Holshoe. She's an outside hitter, and Becca Day. She's not very big, but she's a pretty scrappy setter who does a nice job. Just distributing the ball and playing good defense. And she's probably 5'7", 5'8", if that, but she was getting some big blocks today too. So.
All right, well, we're down to the final four in Division I. Number 2 seed Oconomowoc taking on the number 3 seed River Falls. What do you see there?
Yeah.
Some matchup issues like we talked about. They played each other the last 2 years, kind of getting after each other here a little bit, which will be fun to see, I think, tonight.
Yeah, between the two teams, it's just kind of funny how you can be so far apart, but yet still have a lot of familiarity with these two teams from the past 2 years. And for somebody, at Oconomowoc, Taylor Alden, just everything goes to her. She's going to go to Northern Iowa to play volleyball. Very talented, very athletic, but they got 3 Division I girls in the back row. They got Ashley Sharkus, who's going to Eastern Illinois, and Caitlin Crawford, who's going to South Carolina, and Taya Pazorski, who's going to Jacksonville
They got some
State.
other firepower on the up front.
And then they have some younger kids on the outside. So the player who led them in kills last night, Cordelia Curran, she's a freshman. So the good programs keep on growing, and they know what it's like to play in a big game. And
have not got to the first place championship yet.
They have not won a state title. They have finished second twice. So, and again, for all these teams, like maybe this is their year. Burlington has been their year the past 2, but for Arrowhead, Oconomowoc, and
River Falls.
River Falls, it's trying to be the first.
In case you're curious, what's coming here? This looks like maybe a little bit of a hailstorm.
It's the hailstorm.
Matt Gretz, it's coming. All right, second matchup, other match tonight. Number 4 seed Burlington taking on the number 1 seed Arrowhead. What do you see with that matchup here tonight? 7:30 starts.
It's going to be a lot of offense versus a lot of defense. Arrowhead is really strong, and they are really athletic, and but Burlington.
You got to get up here closer, Gretz. You can bring that thing up here. So here's the data. Haley Gretz, sophomore, middle hitter from River Falls. Nickname is the Hailstorm. So Gretz and his Hailstorm.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got a little umbrella with some hails coming in. I like that. Well done, Mr. Matt Gretz. All right, Burlington Arrowhead matchup tonight. Offense versus defense.
Yeah, I mean, Burlington has probably 4 girls who could be libero on any team in the state.
Yep.
And they can dig the big hits.
Sammy Neighbors still playing pretty good back there, I assume.
Yep, always solid. And
Haven't seen her play yet this year.
Yeah.
There comes Rob Derry. We got another light up sign. He's going to be jealous. Cage the Raccoons. The River Falls parents have come back at the Experience Game Day. Outstanding support of the Wildcat. Anybody else D1 and some of the other teams that didn't make it to today that stood out to you?
Throughout the year, I mean, Brookfield Central has McKenna Worker, who's, she's one of the best sophomores.
Hey, Corey, how are you? Here's a Menominee coach out of the BRC. Nice to see you, buddy.
I mean,
hold on, I'm going to get a picture of you guys.
she's probably one of the best sophomores in the country, let alone, in the state.
Brookfield Central was climbing up. Were they ranked number 1 at one time? I believe, in one of the
beginning
polls?
of the year, they won the opening tournament down in Milwaukee.
Okay. The Joust, or which one's that one?
Yeah, the Joust. And
Stay there a second.
but it's always been kind of a trade-off between Oconomowoc, Arrowhead, and Brookfield Central. I mean, those teams just.
Look at that, Fitzy. Right in front of Chris Fitzy.
Wow.
We got Cage the Raccoons. What's this one say? I better be careful. You guys are tough on the roadkill. Jeepers. We got light up signs. Trying to stay neutral. We've got Chris Fitzgerald from PrepDig. They don't have to stay out here as long as we do, Fitzy. They get to go into the warm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beth, for coming by. Beautiful umbrella.
You like that?
I do.
My hailstorm got a little king about it, but. You got wrecked in the hailstorm.
Is there anybody out there, Fitzy, that carries a team that doesn't get an opportunity to get deep in the playoffs? That you're on your radar a little bit?
It definitely would have been fun to see McKenna Worker play on a big stage like this. I mean, there's not a lot of players that are like her, especially when they're, only 15, 16 years old.
Yesterday I was watching Brianna Cantrell. Is that her name, from Appleton North?
Yeah.
Dynamic player.
Yeah.
She's taking rips at the ball from all over the place.
And
will
that's
become,
the
I think
thing,
they'll learn a little bit, be more consistent.
those athletes play with no fear. They play aggressive, but if you're going to go for it and be good, you got to be able to take those chances. So, McKenna Worker is definitely one that's you don't see very many of her anywhere.
So, Fitzy, you're watching volleyball 12 months out of the year for the most part, 11 months out of the year, right?
Yeah.
You're doing off season. You're starting to host them some
some events, and yeah, I mean, from December through June, we run a pretty busy club schedule. So we have some top 250 showcases where we like to get the best players in the state to play together. And so we're going to have one in Milwaukee at Milwaukee State, and then we'll have one in Minnesota. So anybody from Western Wisconsin, they can play at M1. Then there'll be plenty of college coaches there, and then we'll have club tournaments through June. But yeah, it's kind of fun to just see different, especially at the high school level. It's so different depending on what state you're at, what area you're in. And so next week I'll get to spend 3 days at the Iowa State Tournament, which they have 5 classes and 40 teams make the state tournament.
All right, so can I ask you this question? If you want to defer to answer, please feel free.
Yeah.
You're watching Minnesota, you're watching Wisconsin, you're watching Iowa. I know you guys are going to try to expand into some states.
Yep.
Who does it the best? And I know I've asked you this off the record. As far as a state tournament, the venue, the setup, is there one state that just seems to do it a little bit better than the others?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty honest when it comes to this, but Iowa has something really special for those girls. I mean, to have 5 classes, to have 8 teams per class, they don't make their sectional or regional pairings until halfway through the year, so that way they know who would be kind of the top teams that they're going to try and split up.
Where's it hosted, or where's it held at?
It's held in Cedar Rapids, and it's held downtown at an arena, very similar to what the Resch Center is. But their tournament starts on a Tuesday, and then it ends on a Friday, which is a little bit different. But they have the big schools play during the day because most of the time, if you're from a big school, and you have the chance to cut class and take a pet bus to the state tournament, you're going to take advantage of it.
Of course.
So,
I would never have done that as a high school kid.
You just would have left.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so with that, they just do a lot of extra things. All the streaming is free.
Okay, I like that. Apparently, we've got a little pepper going on with a raccoon back here with Beth Gretz and Sue Paulson Morrow.
And yeah, so people can watch the state tournament for free no matter where you're at. Where with Wisconsin, you have to pay for it. So yeah, it's quite an experience for them.
I mean, I look at what we do, Fitzy. Rob and I have been doing the experience. You've been a part of it now for, 2 years. Coming down to the WIAA state tournament, we're only allowed to do the audio broadcast of it.
Yeah.
So last night's match, we still had 3,200 people.
Really?
3,200 people listening to the Mike and Rob experience. There's Stacy Rademacher. Joan Rademacher, welcome. The game day experience. You bring big Keith with you. Well, get your folks in the shot before they freeze. Uh-oh, here comes the Wildcat team. Pouring out of the Suburbans, Timmy Schmidt working on hydration, and there they are. The number 3 seed, River Falls Wildcats, getting ready to do battle with the Oconomowoc Raccoons for the 3rd straight year. Wow, Abby Derry, come on up here, would you, Abby? We'll first talk to you. Gotta figure out how to turn your...
Happy all day dairy.
Thanks, guys. Oh, these are nice.
We're gonna try. Anna Wolf, come on up here with Abby. We'll get you guys down here. The River Falls Wildcats. This is the game day experience, 2nd year in a row. Girls, let's talk about Abby. You've been on the team for 3 years. Anna, you've been on the team. This is your 3rd year. What does it mean to keep coming down here, and what is the opportunity to win tonight to get back into the state championship?
Right.
Well, it means a lot that we've made it 3 consecutive years. I mean, most teams just only dream about that, so it's such a blessing to be here.
I just want to back up. I still got to have eye contact with Fitzy. All right, Abby, let's talk about Oconomowoc. This is the 3rd straight year. You've taken them on in the semifinal round. What do you look forward to tonight, taking on somebody you know pretty well with a little bit of a history?
I think it's super fun. I don't really remember sophomore year, but I remember last year.
You beat them in 4 your sophomore year. You lost to them in 5 last year.
Awesome. It's super fun to compete against the same people. I don't know, we're so competitive with them because we've played them the past 2 years that we just I don't know, it's so much more fun to play against people that you've played against before.
All right, girls, here's one question to you. I mean, how do you get prepared for tonight? How do you settle the nerves? And everybody in the gym is going to be nervous. And I mean, how do you get them settled in and get ready to play right away?
Just kind of getting locked in, sometimes listening to music, just kind of visualizing what you want to do, and it just kind of comes.
Abby, what's your routine? What do you do to get ready for this?
I don't know. We always talk about how everyone at state, there's only 8 teams that make it to state.
Yep.
And so what I just try to think about is just to have fun, the opportunity to be here. And so, that just takes away my nerves.
Yeah. All right, well, let's find out. Where's head coach Sarah Cayley? Freddie the Big Cat, come on up here. All right, on the mic, on the game day experience, we're live outside of D2. We got Lambeau Field behind us. We got the big cat, Freddie Barr, and head coach Sarah Cayley. All right.
That's it. Sorry, bud.
You two have been together longer than Sarah and I have. I mean, Fred,
Almost.
what's it like to work with Sarah here? For 10 years, you guys have worked this program from the ground up
What's it like to work with me, Fred?
to a championship level.
We've been much happier also the last 10 years.
Watch
so.
out for the hailstorm. Look out, Fred.
You're not safe anywhere. You just can't. You're not safe anywhere.
Hey, Rob, can you take a second to zoom in here real quick? Coach Cayley, semifinal action. What shirt do you got underneath everything? Oh, the Mike and Rob.
My Mike and Rob Experience shirt.
RFvolleyball.com. Sorry, we got to be a little homer here. Fitzy, sorry about that. What's it like to work with her, Fred, for 10 years? And build a program to where it's been?
It's every year she does add something new, create something new, does something different with the culture that just helps build it and make it better. And every year I'm excited to see what she does different. And she amazes me every year. Every year she just keeps making it better.
You got a coon hawk. All right, Sarah, what can you say about Fred Barr? You guys have been together for 10 years, hand in hand. What's it like to work with this guy?
I say this every year. Fred's like the yin to my yang in the volleyball world.
Yep.
So I feel like as many ideas as I can come up with, he challenges me. I feel super ADD right now. I don't know if you felt this way the whole time you're out here, but I just can't focus. I just feel like he challenges me to continue to think outside of the box in the way that we use our players and develop our players. And I don't know that I could be the coach that I am, or we would be the team we are if it wasn't Fred and I doing it together.
All right, so Coach, we got another opportunity today. You worked very hard. Team culture and team chemistry.
Yes.
You've gone kayaking. You've done a digital scavenger hunt at the State Fair in Minnesota. Fred went golfing with the team.
Trapeze.
You did trapezing. And today, Rob and I got to be part of your axe throwing
Yeah.
team building.
I was telling our athletic director, Riley Hall, I was awful at it. But the girls crushed it.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting over there with the dad's table. It's me, Rob, Eric Coopert, Jason Wolf, Mike
You
Lean.
should have come axe throwing with us
And we're doing well.
next time.
I haven't been there yet.
Eric Coopert scored a score of 66. And Maddie Derry scored 85, and Abby Derry scored 80, and Maddie Cayley had 72. And we were in the area throwing axes today and just having a great time. So how important is team chemistry coming into a match like tonight?
Well, it's one of those things where the girls wake up in the morning and they have a match to play at 7:30, and you don't want them sitting around all day. A, you don't want them sitting around all day, but B, you don't want them sitting around all day thinking about the match that's coming. So to be able to get up and get out and go do something fun together, get out a little nervous energy and some aggression, and just enjoy each other, I think is valuable.
Yeah. Freddie, team chemistry, something you probably didn't think much about when you're managing baseball teams.
Can I take this off your head? I just can't
It's
even
just
take you
different in
serious. There we go.
volleyball, obviously, and these girls spend a lot of time in very close quarters, and they play in a very small area on the court too. So you just can't really put a price tag on it, especially when things get to the big time games. You just can't.
Yep. All right, girls, we're going to try to find Jenna Hooper and Abby Larson. Come on up here. We'll try to roll through some of the seniors. Hey, ladies of River Falls, we're at the PrepDig game day experience, and Fitzy's going to leave us. You guys just ran him right out of his own show. What? All right, so Fitzy, thank you for everything. I appreciate it very much. All right, seniors, now it's our time to shine. Wildcat volleyball. Where's Rob going with my van?
I don't know. It's
All right, a couple of the seniors. Abby, you've been on the team for 3 years. Jenny, you've been on the team for 2 years. Talk about a couple of the highlights of your memories here coming through River Falls volleyball.
I would say just like every year coming back.
Abby, you know who was on the show earlier tonight?
My father.
Did you know that?
They just told me.
Yeah.
That's why I knew it.
All right, talk about a couple of your moments here, memories of 3 and 2 years.
Like I said, just coming back to this tournament, but then I think specifically my sophomore year, like making it to that championship game and just like the feeling of that.
Jenna Hoop, some big memories.
I think all the connections that we have made through the year, like we're all super, super close. Oh, sorry. And we just connect really well together, and I just think that's really amazing.
So we're just talking about the axe throwing. What's that like?
What?
I know it was supposed to be a secret, but you end up throwing axes. What was your experience like today?
I was pretty good, not gonna lie.
Uh-huh.
But we had an axe, and you just like
Hold that up so we can hear what you're saying, though.
You had an axe and
Yeah.
you threw it at a target, and
Yeah.
it was good.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I invited the owner up. He wants to come kayaking up in River Falls. So.
Oh, yes.
All right, who else we got back there? Seniors, Maddie, Kaylee. Who else is another? Hallie Olson, get up here. Nice idea. Rob Derry wants to bring the lights on. All right, you guys have been a part of the team. Hallie, you've been here for 4 straight years. Maddie, you've been on here for 3 years. Hallie, what is it like to come down here every single year?
It is the highlight of my year.
It is.
Yes, so much fun. I'm with a whole bunch of girls that I love to death, and we get to play in an awesome arena and just have so much fun out there.
All right, Maddie, we'll talk about last night. It was the first time you got to compete here at the Resch Center.
Yes.
Been on the team for 3 years. Your sophomore year behind senior stud Izzy Barr. Last year you broke your foot. What was last night finally like to get out there and compete?
A dream come true. A lot of
Get
emotions.
this way so we can get the light on you. There you go.
Nerve-wracking, exciting, just a bunch of emotions.
You ready to go for tonight?
Heck yeah.
Hallie, what's it like here? You're in the 3rd straight year. You're taking on Oconomowoc in the semifinals.
I'm excited.
You ready to go for this?
Yes, I'm ready to crush.
Something about a condom walk on Friday night.
Is that what it is?
Like we just keep running into them on Friday nights.
Someone's got to break. You're 1-1. Tonight's your rubber match
That's what
to see
Sammy
what
Krieger
happens.
said.
Yep.
She said it's every other year at this point. It's our year. So.
Our year.
I ask you guys all the time, Hallie, I'll ask you, you're a 4-year starter. You've got, 160 wins this year and 15 losses. That's what you've been through 4 years. You're ranked high in the state all the time. You're winning tournaments. You're doing all these things. Do you understand that this is not normal for high school volleyball programs? Do you realize it?
People tell me that's not normal. It just seems normal.
Yeah. All right, anybody else out there? We got 2 more microphones to hand them off.
Emily, have you been up yet?
Emily Bannon, where's the gunslinger? Quietly coming up. All right, get up here, Maniac Maddie Morrow. Senior captain Emily Bannon, the gunslinger, and the Maniac Maddie Morrow. Oh, the hound dog! Look at that! There she is. Big cheers, the hound dog, Amelia Hadzima. All right, Mel, you played volleyball with all these girls all growing up. Eventually, you learn that it's tough to keep competing at this kind of level, and the program is so high. What's it been like this year to still be part of the team as a manager?
Oh, it's been amazing just being able there to like support everybody and still be there on the bench and just being a part of the team. And
But the real question is, were you good at throwing axes?
Yes.
She was legit.
Oh, you're good too?
Oh yeah.
Everybody was good but me.
What do you? You've never been down here before, so this is your first year down to the Resch Center, first year down to the state tournament. Kind of, what's it been like for you to watch and be a part of this?
It's surreal. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
What's today going to be like?
Oh, we're gonna win. Obviously, it's gonna be even better.
All right, gunslinger. Last night we talked to you in the press conference. You had 13 kills last night. You've got more than 1,100 kills in your career. You're going down to Chicago Loyola. Does it get old coming to the Resch Center every year?
Nope, not at all.
Were you good at throwing axes?
Kind of.
I mean, how does it stay fresh? I know you come down here every year and it's an expectation. You still got to get here. You still got to play well. What's it like to get down here every year?
It's usually the same, like competitiveness, but I think this year it's a lot different because we're gonna finish it. We've came here the past 3 years. This is our 4th year. This is our last year for a lot of us seniors, and that's just all we want. So we want to finish it. This is the year.
Coach, I'm a big person to read body language. We talked about this. Their body language seemed different last night.
It did, and I think that was the difference between us and Appleton North because they're
Oh,
a
it's
talented
deodorants,
team.
not body language.
It was swagger deodorant.
Appleton North's talented. They didn't have the same level of experience, and I think that's the edge that we had in just keeping our composure. And
All right, so talking about edges tonight, Oconomowoc does have the same experience. They're ranked above you. They're seated higher than you. What's the swag you got tonight against them, Em?
We're gonna take it to them.
Is there anybody else here? Oh, geez, we got the cage, the raccoons. We got. All right, anybody else? Hailstorm, you want to come up? Maddie Maniac, you want to come up? We'll talk about last year versus this year. Sure. All right, Maddie the Maniac Morrow, you had an opportunity last year, the backup setter. Maddie Kaylee goes down. You come down here in the playoffs and in the state tournament and take over the setting duties. What was it like for you to come down last year at the Resch?
I was really nervous, but I mean, Sarah had a talk with me before the games and was like,
She has a talk with me before school every day. I don't like those talks.
But she just said that like your team has your back and everything, and the girls always made sure I knew that. Then that helped with everything and made it really fun.
So what's it like this year coming down? Now you're injured again, so the roles have kind of reversed.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you stay engaged?
I mean, they're pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. I know. I've been doing
Like,
it for a
they're
long
pretty
time.
good,
Yeah.
But obviously,
You want to come and join the booth tonight? You could be the third.
I'd rather be on the bench.
All right. All right.
She doesn't want to miss the action.
No.
All right, Hailstorm, you're in your sophomore campaign. Last year you came onto the varsity team with a pretty big jump in there, and now this year you've come in. How do you get better, and how do you get more comfortable in this team?
I think all the girls really help us out, just like pushing us so that.
You want to hold your umbrella? It's pretty creative, isn't it? The Hailstorm, this is yours. During your interview, you better keep that on there.
What?
That's nice, isn't it?
I know, I love it.
How do you get more comfortable from last year to this year? I know your head was spinning a little bit last year. Is everything just ready to go this year in practice?
Yeah, I mean, like coming into state this year, we have a lot more confidence, and like coming into practice, we just work really hard, and so yeah, I guess.
All right, girls, volleyball. You guys spend a lot of time together. Tell me a funny story.
Haley's
well,
pretty funny.
She's pretty funny.
well,
Yeah.
this morning we're sitting down there waiting to get our Starbucks dropped off, and Fred walks in, and Maddie Derry goes, "Fred, did you just go for a run?"
And that in itself is funny.
And Fred just died laughing. It was pretty funny. So, yep.
Maddie Maniac, give a funny story. I mean, you guys are around each other in Suburbans and hotel rooms and practice and locker rooms.
What? Well, I mean, at the start of the season, Jenna said you face adversity while drinking water.
Well, I asked her in the pregame show, yeah, about how
That's
she
pretty
handles
funny.
adversity. Coach, tell me a funny story. You've been around for 10 years.
I think it's one of those things where they all just know each other so well, so it's funny to them because they know their personalities. But from the outside looking in, people might not see things as being that funny, but they're all quite humorous in their own ways.
All right, well, I've been out here for an hour, and my toes are starting to get a little bit numb, and I know you guys got a big match to get ready for.
We're going to go heat up in the cars and drive around to the,
Is that what you're going to do,
the
is drive
private
around?
entrance.
All right, PrepDig, Chris Fitzgerald has left the show. My lips are starting to freeze, and you guys got a big match against the
That's a
Oconomowoc
wrap.
Raccoons, so I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Go get them. Thanks for coming on. Has anyone seen Rob Derry? Thank you,
Take
Hailstorm.
your umbrella.
Has anyone seen Rob Derry?
He's inside one.
All right, we are The Experience. Mike and Rob, season number 4. Today we're with Chris Fitzgerald with PrepDig. Good Experience game day. Semifinal volleyball tonight. I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Nice
Good job,
shirt.
guys.
Rob, when you're ready to shut that thing down, I'm going back inside to D2. Thank you to the staff at D2. Thank you to Chris Fitzgerald at PrepDig. And this is a wrap.